Oh, I didn't make another cup of coffee. I could start the water. Oh, I don't have any milk. Oh well. You want the fan on? Alright. My whole life I've seen a small group of people do what they want, and then the masses start to see, well, look, they can do it. Well, look, I can do it too. They just said, yeah, you could put in that AI fucking bullshit down in New Mexico. Sure. Sure, spend millions and billions of dollars on it, by all means. Water's to be for drinking. The rich people like to use it to make fake snow for the weers. For those that like to wee. I think life, I believe, I know that life comes down to two kinds of people. And those two kinds of people derive from the little kid that falls down for the first time. When they fall down and they feel like that adrenaline kick in, that's like the first time a baby ever really feels, come, that go fast. And they fall down, and then the parent does one of two things. They usually run up and make it okay, which teaches that being that from there on out, in order to feel better, you're going to need external validation. And then I came from the variety where They just let me sort it out. They let me process my own emotions without their input. So they come running up. They know I'm okay. They can see me. I'm not bleeding. I fell on my butt. And so I get to, oh, okay, I'm all right. I'm all right. So it's the same frequency though. Like fear, it can be excitement, it can be anxiety, it can be elation. Hey, what's up? It's the same frequency. People use their brains to differentiate their emotions, putting what emotion they want to put on that frequency. And right now, there's so much fear on planet Earth. I understand why. I'm very empathetic to it. I've been in these fears my whole life. Been telling people, hey man, there's predators on Earth of all kinds. People really need to learn how to protect themselves. And not become one of those predators. That's the tricky trick, is not becoming the evil in which you are trying to evade. Subjective, really, good and bad. People have said I was a bad person my whole entire life. The people that I've said that I was not a decent person. But that's alright, it never hurts. It doesn't hurt my feeling because I believe in like attracts like. And if they see wicked in me, it's a reflection off wicked that they have in themselves. And I know I'm not a wicked being. I know those are not the potentials in which I live. I'm a spiritual being having a human experience, and I've had to endure a great deal of pain in my life, emotional, physical, and I tried to do everything I could, the best I could, to learn the best coping skills that I could, so that I wouldn't put any pain, any emotional, physical pain onto anybody else. People get mad, they hit people. That don't make no sense to me. Keep your hands to yourself. Oh, I could just see out there how many other people are in pain and they don't got coping skills. So that's one of the reasons why I do these talks, is I will tell anyone and everything for fun and for free the things that I've done to maintain my clean record. There's so many I always lived in a wicked world. And that's what I share my stories of, and people don't want to know of the wicked world, so they don't want to know me. They think if people be quiet, the microphones that have lived through hell on earth and still smile, then their gig is up and they don't get to benefit. And I'm like, I'm all about telling against the bad guy. I've been doing it my whole life. It's part of my nacho neurotypical thinking divergence. See, they said I was these things before those things were determined to be cool and trendy. Hey, what's up? So that's cool. I don't get a lot of repeating guests. I gotta turn on the fan. My dog's getting hot. She's getting a little stuffy in her bits. How you doing, Ma? I'm just gonna talk for a while. You relax, okay? Okay. I'm not for a whole lot of people, so I'm for a small group because like attracts like. But I do get the attention of people that are considered super creditable, yet their stories aren't as vast as mine. Like this blanket, this came from Jessie Zaboter. You know who that is? Her somebody. I have one too. I think it's in storage. I have somewhere around here too. I have a quilt over here that a whole bunch of old ladies in Taos quilted back in 2021. They do a whole little ceremony. They wrap the cloak around you. They tell you, it's okay, all the bad stuff you did, we love you. And it's I had mine done at the town square. It's on YouTube. I recorded it, put it up there. See, they like to do the ritual and the ceremony, but they don't care about the person. They really don't. So I've lived this crazy, horrific life, see. And my whole life, people have, like, ignored me, don't hear me, they don't believe me, all this stuff. And now the world is presenting itself as the stage where where this is things that have happened to me have been allowed to continue to happen. They happened long before I was born, and they'll continue to happen long after I'm gone unless things change. The world has been ruled by predatory behavior. Take, not give, give, give. And it's getting pretty dark out there. I know people have seen that story about that kid. I don't even want to say his name. See, when people do things like that, well, I will say things and people will know what I'm talking about. The Tesla kid that they found the girl in his trunk, that one. And then he just kept going on touring. Tour. Because when you sell your soul, I guess that's part of the advanced system. So, homeboy frickin' put it in the whole world's face. Like, because now I don't think he's touring anymore. Homeboy, I saw a TikTok this morning of the girl's old teacher that was educating his class on the dangers of social media. Because people are in such a hurry to grow up. Little kids, like, ever since I was a little girl, they wanted to give me a baby, like Cabbage Patch Dolls and babies and shit like that. I'm like, dude, I don't want that. I don't want that. I want to go outside and play and ride my bike. I don't want to play mom. See, they plant seeds early. When I was in 6th grade, I got in a little school playground fight with the girl named Tanya Patton. It was like on the last day of school. She was always a freaking jerk to me. And she called me out. We went out past the tree. The bell rang. There's a couple other people out there. Fight. And she's like, well, what are you going to, and she's just like mouthing off and stuff. And I wasn't saying anything. And then she's like, are you even going to do anything? And I just went, pop! And she went, boom, and dropped to the ground. And she was like, you had a rock in your hand. I'm like, no, I have nothing in my hand. I'm not a cheat. If we're going to agree to do something, we got to agree on the rules, and both of us are going to follow, and that would be a cheater way, and that ain't me. That girl didn't come back. She didn't go on to 7th grade. She was so big and grown and tough. She didn't join us in CVI. Everyone was like, whatever happened to Tanya? Well, that summer, that 12, 13-year-old girl wanted to be all grown, got pregnant. Yeah, round 1. Got pregnant, and then I never saw her again. So, yeah, that's the world I grew up in. And I get that I know everybody else's la land they live in. Their bubbles are about to pop, man. So this dude, like, basically, I looked at a video, someone showed a clip that dude put up with the girl in the trunk. And I'm like, dude, we're watching a snuff film. I bet this is like real shit. Because that's how crazy people are. People are like, I'll be all the evil that I am right in front of your face, and you will never even know it. That's part of the game. See, I could have gone that ego way. And if I'm not careful some days, I still do. 2 days ago, I'm going to shift gears a little bit. Took Mom out after we went up to the Colorado, New Mexico border, and I took one of my stickers and I rolled it up. I made a TikTok out of it too. I rolled it up and put it in the sign I'm gonna make hashtags, straight people like rainbows too. I'm gonna hide stickers. I did it at the travel lodge. So I'm gonna make TikToks and then put stickers out. People want them. I need to go out and put them on the box on the Gorge Bridge. Honestly, I fucking hate that bridge. It's not even that I'm afraid of heights. It's that I live in New Mexico. New Mexico is known for being the last place state in the whole entire nation. Like, it's last in everything. And it's a tall ass fucking bridge. And I don't hear. I've lived here 5 years, and I track media. I'm a data collector, and you don't hear about how it's closed for maintenance. So that puts cautions in my energy field, because as much trucks and cars drive over that, it vibrates. And whenever things vibrate, hardware can come loose. I don't care how tight it is. I come from a world of maintenance. These are evidence of facts of things that I have found to be true. So, because again, I have had so much experience that the regular layman doesn't have. Most of the words I say are just fucking yada yada blah blah blah. I make sense to people that I need to make sense to. That's all. So, when Mom and I went out driving around doing the stickers, I got some video of her too. Where's that? I don't know where the video of Grandma Retta. She's so cute. We can't, but see, it's that weird time because people are so 50-50 inside. They're running so hot and cold. It makes the fucking weather weird. Did it in Nebraska. It's just latitude. It's because we get fired up. Freaking induction, just like when it's winter and the glass freezes over. It's because the temperature is transferring through the glass. Heat transfers through us. We're inductors. We're just computers. Look at everything that's ever been made. Cars, reverse engineered off the principles of human beings. Computers, reverse engineered off the principles of human beings. There's a battery source, your heart. There's a CPU, brain, central processing unit. Like, nothing is new. Everything is based off of something else. It's how we're supposed to be. I have a cousin. She said, I said, we're supposed to be the custodians of the earth. Like the old man that takes care of the high school. Make sure all garbage is all. Like, that's what we're supposed. Ed was in my high school. There was Ed. Right? But she's like, no, it says we're supposed to be the stewards. I'm like, I'm not a lady that picks up. I'm not that. I'm more of a custodian. And so she's like, and that's all we're supposed to do is like take care of each other, and then all the animals on it, make sure things are clean and tidy, and then have a good time. And then look what this place has become. Boom, boom, drop bombs. I'm a man. I'm a boss. I got a penis. I'm in charge. You know how they say that women are, like, they used to say, when I was in high school growing up, they say, well, women are smart. Girls are smarter than boys until like 12 or 13. I always thought that was fucking hilarious. I've come to know that they get smarter about the time that they get stronger, and that ain't smarter. I've been bullied a lot in my life by the men that deemed themselves important. My father, my brother, like the guys that are supposed to be a good example, the ones that are supposed to exist. So I don't fucking hate men, because there's got to be a couple out there that are cool because I'm related to them. They couldn't be the cool dude. No, they had to be the fucking douche. So I know what a douchey dude is because I have their blood in me. That's how I know. So I have a cousin, never met her. She's mom's age, year younger, a couple years younger. She has all these cats and stuff and horses. I can't imagine my body in 25 years, 24 years doing what she does. The thing of it is she kind of got over her head, which I can relate to. But I've had people help because back when I adopted my 4 dogs, I was in a relationship. Like, my life was supposed to be much different. It didn't turn out that way. So I ended up with single, taking care of my mom and her dog, and so I just got a little overwhelmed, and then we moved to Oregon, and that's when I figured out I can't get a job no more. It's all about who you know, and nobody cares to know me, so I'm done with fucking planet Earth, 3D world, whatever. I tried. I succeeded on 3D Earth. I did things that were exceptional. I have awards for exceptional things that I did when I was in the military. I did more than most people. Like, if you took like life as a sushi menu and marked off all the things I've done significant, or things that other people consider to be significant, it's not to me. So I keep telling my cousin, I'm like, because she has this one cat that's like 16, and I'm just like, cuz you want to take her to the vet. I said, my pack has gone to heaven and to the Rainbow Bridge mostly. I said, I can afford to help you with yours. So please let me do that. And people have, for whatever reasons, I'm not going to put what I think they are. But people, for whatever reasons, turn down help. I am not that person. I do not turn down help. I've been the beggar. So finally, I called her vet, and she had a little bit of a balance left over from other stuff. And I said, let me take care of this, and have her make an appointment, and have her other cat brought in, and then if it's viable, and if it's not, if it's worth, because she's got years left, man. Those old farm cats can live for a long time, and plus she's indoor girl now. So I sent her food replacement and stuff, the same food that Stan Lee eats, and she was able to get her cat into an appointment. She's so funny. We're related. We never met, but we have all this in common. DNA is like, genetics is magnetics to me. Like, people are either attracted or repelled by who and what they are. Simply put. And so, but like, her mom, see where we are, she comes from my grandma on my dad's side. That's her relative. And what we have deduced, and that is where my grandma gets her privilege and advantage. And then she met my grandpa, who was a Freemason, and then she was an Eastern Star. So they became this dark shadow power couple of Atascadero, California, where she was a real estate agent for 42 years. I just looked up like my last name as far as court cases, and the amount of court cases that she has. I want to get the freaking court, because when I was growing up, Mom, 5-year custody suit. They tried to take me and my brother away, and because they had all the advantage. We were in their lion's den, and because of God's grace, and Mom kept doing the right thing, everything good orderly direction. The good won that time. It was a long, hard battle. It was scary. She ended up in a Atascadero State Mental Hospital because of their advantage a couple times, not because she deserved to be there. See, I know that the system is broke, and it's just been breaking ever since I've been paying attention in the 70s, because I'm one of those nacho nut. You know, my brother became a part of the system, and I became against. So he's like the Darth Vader, and I'm the Princess Leia. So that's how our story goes. Only I did a lot more than he has. He's just a poser that makes $240,000 a year for the state of California. You can look him up. He says he's on the internet. All lawyers are. You can look him up. I looked. I noticed the other day. Hadn't looked in a while. they. You used to be able to have his email address, his phone, all these things. You have the office number. Now you're gonna get routed. You can't get a hold of him direct now. That just is kind of funny to me. Wonder why that could be, old Jerome. See, you can't treat people bad because it comes back to you, man. You just can't. You can't hit your mom and then tell the world you're, a really great guy and make more than fucking 80% of this. Why do you make 80%, 70, 80, say, it says on his name, he makes 70% because his freaking family of Freemasons. And people don't think humans can be sacrificed alive. That's exactly what happened to me and Mom. Yep. This stuff happens. He just can't believe it. He can't believe that I did not end up dead on the street. He can't believe that Mom is still alive. He can't believe that we ended up in the same town that Mom was born. See, because he don't believe in God. He believes in his ego. That only he has the power to make all the choices in his life to designate the direction in which it goes. He doesn't believe that there's outside forces that support and encourage, and because he don't support and encourage, and likes attracts likes. See, I'm not making this shit up, dude. It's the science. Everything's woo woo. I was talking to my cousin last night, and we're like, because there's these two young men in Colorado that they just found their bodies. They're out there hunting, and there's stuff out there like humans just think that because they grew up watching Mutual of Omaha or something, that they know everything that exists in the dark. And there's so many things in the dark and in the light we can't see, we don't know. And those two young men, 24, all the gear in the world, an experience doesn't save people sometimes. So, world's getting goofy. See, we create our reality based on our imagination. And then the powers that be know this. So they create environments where our perception is hijacked by media and TV. And it was like, because I was recommended to watch a movie that was, I looked it up. What's it called? I tried to watch it. I couldn't stand it. Can't stand Leonardo DiCaprio. I can't stand these false idols for profit. When you know what people are behind the scenes, I'm not going to waste any of my life watching them be fake and pretend to be, something else. And he fucking even cheated on his wife on the show. Like, he's a scumbag on and off screen. Like, they are who they are. They just get paid more, and regular people aren't worth universal income, but those scumbags are worth fucking millions of dollars for one shot. It don't even make no sense. So Up in the Air or something like that is what it's called. And that other chick is in it, and plus, people start messing with their faces, and it's just like, I'm not even watching the same actors I used to act. I mean, are they even the same person? Are they clones? Who knows, really? So, I got about, I guess, 40, I don't know. Like, when the mission failed, that's how, and I was just, I can't, because it's based on real life, based on real people, and then they create, and now look what's happening. You know, oh, look, there's an asteroid coming for Earth. Like, it's so stupid. Like, people need to focus on making their own environment conducive and welcoming and inviting and safe. And then if your neighbor does that, and their neighbor does that, and that's how the world becomes a better place. But it don't happen because people, they like drinking too much alcohol. Breaks my, I used to be that person. Breaks my heart. Breaks my heart. Like, because it causes cancer. It's a carcinogen. It causes like 8 kinds of cancer. My neighbor just found out. Homeboy is a trip. He has he's got to go up to Denver because they don't got no good doctors in New Mexico. Fucking doctors in New Mexico, you go to the urologist, you got blood in your piss. Oh, it's nothing. And then the smart one in Denver says, "Fucking dude, you've had like it's just the lack of, like, you have to learn how to take care of yourself." And how I've done that is I look at the other people that are healthy, and then I find out what they've done to be healthy, and then I try it. Those are the people I look to. Dude has cancer in his fucking like bladder and like it's just fucking sucks. This should, the number is kind of funny. Last night, quite frankly, was talking about population numbers, and I was like, finally, I'm not the only. I've been talking about how they lie about population numbers for 7 years, looking for other people that are talking about how popular, and then freaking 7 years later, finally Frank is like, "Do you really think there's?" No, there's not. No, there's no way. They say on TV, I used to watch that show Northern Exposure, and they say on TV things like, "There's 5 million people on the planet," right? And then like 10 years go by, and then the script is start saying there's 6 million people on the planet. And then everybody will start thinking, and then they create that reality based on what they think. Perception is reality. In a very, very literal way. So no. How many people? Hard to tell, because not everybody that looks like human is a person. What makes a person? What makes a person humane? What is it to be a human being? To have humanity? No, you don't have to have humanity to be. I mean, what is it? To have a soul? Do you have to can you have a soul and not humanity? Can you have no humanity and have a soul? It doesn't matter. It's what you do with what you are. And either people live in service for themselves, or they live in service for everyone. It's either ego or spirit. It's not fucking rocket science that they make up. Dude, I was in the greatest Air Force in the United... Dude, it's paid. We're paid actors that actually play a role. Like, the people that were in my shop, I can think of 2, Vyalba and Porter. They were on the same weight management because if they see either you're gonna play their role, you're gonna go with their program, or you're not. And I went with it long enough to get my college degree and bounce, because it's a fucking joke, dude. If people put so much pride and prestige into the military, it's like, dude, they're no different than the Nepo babies in Hollywood that have been career actors. It was funny. This is how my brain works. When Frank was talking about, he had some guy on that was like a 5-generation butcher, right? That's 5 generations that they're, and I know plenty of people that they do what their family has done, and they were talking in terms of population numbers, and I was wondering, so how many lives is that? Is that one life lived 5 times? Or is that 5 lives? When you just do a carbon copy of what's been done by your DNA before, are you just extenuating the life of the first person? Like, like genetics telephone. Like telephone for genetics, but the wires get crossed and people start, just want more and more and more and more because they get a little bit of a taste, and that's just hoggy. It's just totally hot. That's just selfish and greedy and all those things that we're not supposed to be. Right? So, Active Directory. When I was in IT, I think about this a lot. Active Directory is basically, how do I break it down? It's a directory service for Microsoft. I need water. Ugh. So if you worked in any organization, if you've ever worked in any company, and you had files on your desktop that you clicked on, honey, where you going? Don't be scared. It's alright, Mom. I hit the chair and it startled her. It's okay, baby. Alright, so Active Directory. So it's Microsoft. It's not an Apple thing. It's basically it's a way to set up permissions. I was explaining this to my friend. She used to be a manager at a big company, and so like when you turn on your computer and it has like you have a. It's not you don't have the file saved on your computer. There's just a file, but it's saved on a server. They keep everything maintained on a server, and then give you access to that server from your computer. So basically it's like a door. And then managers have like so many permissions set up, like they have all access. Like they can get to everything, and then they have locations that they can exchange within their access with other managers, within their own organization, with outside organizations. It's just all about permissions. And I see how that works in life. I see how some people are set up for access granted and access denied. And the people that are part of the contrived reality with real outcomes, made up situations with real life outcomes, they're basically playing chess with us. Because we are so stupid that they are never going to get the rest of the world to believe that we are so stupid that we are never going to get anybody else to believe what they're doing is true. And because I grew up watching movies like Trading Places and To Kill a Mockingbird and whatever my program drew me to, I could see how what is on TV ends up happening in real life. It's not the other around. They don't make movies based on real life. Wait, I said that wrong. I misspoke. My wires got crossed. Please excuse me. Like SUV and all those things, those are based on real life events. A lot of those. When I was young and impressionable, I had the misfortune of knowing people that watched snuff films and having that world introduced to me. And that made something click in my brain that's what happens to people on milk cartons. See, but all this stuff, it makes people feel bad. They don't want to think about it. It's all about appeal to emotion, right? Until it's People gotta ignore because it makes them feel bad. You can't ignore what this world has become. Too many mom used to be like that. Just keep your mouth quiet. You don't want to draw any attention because she was so afraid that if she would get the reprise because she had gotten the reprise. Fuck reprise. They can suck my decorum. I'm not a violent being. I just call people stupid cousins because they're selfish and greedy. New Mexico has more fucking money than it knows what to do it. $64 billion surplus in one fucking year. That's how much they don't see fit for it to trickle down. So what stupid cousin shit can we waste it on before we give it to frickin' everybody who lives here? They don't have to use it. They don't need it. They got enough privilege in their fucking bloodline that they don't need $2,000 universal income every month for not just existing, not living. That's what they do. They do it in frickin' other places. Alaska. I mean, when you're in the military, I think they changed the rule because there's so many people that were frickin' cheating. Right? Give everybody a means to advance in life. See, that's the thing. Is like, think about all the things you wouldn't need if universal health care existed. If you were born and had boop boop automatic deposited, what is fucking money, Bitcoin, I don't care. It's all stupid reindeer games as far as I'm concerned. What, $2,000, boom, every month. You don't have to worry about student loans. You don't have to worry about college. You can start your own business, and if you're of the variety that of the addictive, if you go the way that ego, then heck, you probably won't live to be 18 because you can do whatever you want anyway. Unless you're given guidance and direction, that doesn't happen now. So, I mean, nothing they do works. And I've always been the word. Well, try it with. If this doesn't work, then give people the means to succeed. They don't want to do that. People that have done nothing to work hard for their positions, they have no idea what it's like to go out in the 111-degree heat, put in a plastic bag, run 3.4 miles 3 times a day, solid. Every day, Monday through Friday, I took weekends off for 2 months until I made it in the military. See, people don't know what it is to work hard like fucking hard, like gross shit, hard, gross. They don't know what it, see, so that's why they make it so hard for everybody else, because it's a fun little twisted game for them. And things are flipping around because you can't treat people like shit. You see, and that's the thing, is what you put out comes back to you. So if you neglect people, if you just ignore people, when you see that they need help, give them a couple grand and you got it. Stuff like, because money's fucking fake, but everybody wants to rack up a number like it's a video game. Like at the end, the higher number you have in the bank. No, the way I look at it, if you get to live a nice long life and you got all that money in the bank, then you weren't nice in life. Then you weren't generous. I want to have zero balance at the end, because I want everything that I am and everything that I have had, I want it to go to other people, whether I'm alive or dead. Knowledge, wisdom, because that's where the real power is. That's how I know that freaking New Mexico is run by the stupid cousins, because everybody's violent, and it's just like, no sense, no rational, no logic, just hit, kill, fucking maim, shoot, die. But notice what's happening in New Mexico. There's a lot of flooding in New Mexico. It's getting cleansed. God's pissed. God is cleansing the earth because hitos and hitas are making their grandmas and grandpas cry too much. So they could not, they don't have to. People could do
better things with their time than racing around, getting into wrecks and doing drugs and shooting people. Like, there's so many other things that people could do with their time, but that's what they choose to do mostly, because that's the only thing that is number one in New Mexico is all that shit. So I wonder if those dudes at O'Reilly's and Taos are like re-fucking thinking their behavior, because 2 employees down in Albuquerque got shot and killed for just giving shitty service. The ones here in Taos were just shitty to me as a human being. Fucking the manager went back to get my fucking headlight that I ordered and paid for already, and then didn't go back to get my headlight. He went and got in his car and left, leaving me waiting. Finally, after about 5, I looked over and I see a car leaving, and I'm like, I'm doing the math, and I was said, hey, can somebody check on that headlight? I got to get back to my mom. Or that side mirror. I said headlight, side mirror. She's, oh, dude left. Oh, yeah, because that's how fucking scumbags are. Because they look at me and they're like, well, how can I treat this bitch some kind of fucking way? And that's what they do. But that shit comes back to you, dude. That's why I just gotta let people be them. I'll say what they are. They'll get mad about it. I'll say what their mother created. They'll get mad about it. Then I'll leave. I'm not inhumane. Only human people want good things for other humans. Fucking aliens, demons, scumbags, trash. They want bad things to happen to other people. I've done over 2.6 thousand videos, and not one of them you're going to hear me say one bad thing that I want to happen to somebody else. That's how energy works. But what do I know? What do people like me know? We're just the ones with the life experience above and beyond the program, you know. Above and beyond what the born and raised say. They're so adamant, this is how they are. No, that's how things are. We're in the place that you have been and stayed. But there's a lot of us out here, we travel around and we're like, okay, this is how it is there. Based on this collective consciousness of that area. And then if you go over here, they didn't like how it was over there. So they took some of this stuff of what they liked and they went over here. That's how AA grew. Is people couldn't stand groups, so they went off to freaking start their own. It's a whole club built off of animosity that they're doing it wrong. It's all ego driven. How's AA doing now? Such a bunch of so much hypocrisy in the world. They talk about but how many every year fucking Eminem has to put on the internet his chip. Stupid. They're all false idols for profits, and people will worship them and love them, and you could know them for years, and they're gonna fucking hate you and despise you. I unfriended a dude for fucking saying "Rest IP Ozzy" on a post that I made about, like, dude, fucking I've been almost homeless, I've been hungry, I've been beat, I've been, you know, all these things. Ozzy Osbourne ain't never fucking come in and make my life better. You know, I wonder how many people on planet Earth to be like. Not because, you know, you loved him because the first time you got your rocks off, that song, his music was playing on. That's no reason to love a fucking musician, you know, because you put your emotion onto their music. They don't give a fuck about you. None of them care about you. There's too many real people that are like, God, man. Like, living on the streets in America. Richest world, you know why they got nothing? Because those dumbasses have so much. That's why so many have nothing. Because so few just suck it up like the great fucking nothing on the never-ending story. But worship them. I'm a piece of shit. Like, I just went through and unfriended like 100 people. I'm down to like, I only keep Facebook is because it is a digital map of my life since 2008. That's why. And I know that there's record because they keep records of everything. I knew a dude back in 2000. It was like 2012. Years are a hard time for him. I have a hard time, like different time periods. But at one point, he interviewed for Google, and when he sat and then he sat in his chair, and the interviewing manager came in with a stack of paper like this, set it on his desk, and said, "This is your entire Google history." And I knew that because I already went to college for IT. Like, if you don't want anybody to know anything out there, don't fucking put it on here ever. Like, that's the number one rule. Like, don't, if you don't want to get people inside your head, don't ever do that Google search. Or understand that if you Google all these weird Google things, that's going to flag as an active directory someplace. And now that AI is in, I don't know. I don't play with toys like that. I'm not saying I'm never gonna. Maybe I am. Who knows? But it's a tool that I find no use for me in my world. I am finding, like, my cousin is my first person that she has found a use for it. Hey, Tanya, she's found she could use it. So yay, you know. That's not what my beef on Earth is anyway. Is that people use lazy tools or play too much. It's the imbalance of using things that are insignificant to the balance of doing things viable for other living creatures. And she does she has horses, and she rescues pets. So that's how I see she gives back. There's people that just take care of themselves all the time, 24/7, 365, and they're always just looking for ways. And I told her, I said, it became evident to me from a very young age that when I'm scared or ever I'm fearful, that I need to take that feeling and turn it into helping somebody else. Whether it's doing the dishes or using that energy that I feel that is powerlessness, and I can't control how I feel, so I'm going to put that into action. And then when I'm acting in a way that I can control, that helps me process the emotions and the feelings of the things in which I can't. And it works for me, but people don't, regular people don't do that. They just feel a kind of way, and they want to do whatever they can to escape from that feelings. And you can't escape from you stuff and escape from feelings. That's how people get prostate cancers, and like, that's how those cells turn dark, because your thoughts turn dark, because what we think turns into tangible reality. And people are making themselves sick because of their free will. Makes me sad. It's easy, but we're just spiritual beings having a human experience. Just trying, There's positive coping skills and negative, and I've ran the gamut. I did them all. I only did heroin and crystal meth once because they told me it was crank. They lied to me, and that was the only time I was up 6 days. I did not like that, and I don't do the things that give me the outcomes in which I don't like. That stuff, man. There's so many. That's what's happening. It's like, where are all the people that are living from their spirit? Because all I see is people living from their ego everywhere I go, whenever I go out. So when Mom and I went up, when Mom and I went up to the New Mexico-Colorado border, day before yesterday is when we went. Yesterday I just didn't feel good, so I didn't want to do a video. But day before yesterday, then we stopped at a grocery store in that little town, Cuesta, that she was born in. And every time I go there, I'm like, yeah, my mom was born here by Priscilla Cisneros. But she was born with 2 club feet. Back then, they're like, oh, this baby's cursed. So instead of raising that little baby in a family and loving it, they threw her away to an orphanage in El Paso. So yeah, we might be related. Like, you know what, people... play stupid games, win stupid prizes, and the truth is, I guess, the stupidest prize that I can offer to them. So, and then we're coming back. Oh, so I stopped into the store. I spent like they had the most beautiful fucking roast. I put that on TikTok too. I made a roast yesterday. It's so, I just put that in the beginning of this video. I went and had to put it on to warm it up in the crock pot. Oh my God. Like, I'm like, that's what meat is supposed to look like, not whatever it is that they're pulling from the store. Like, once you plant a seed, like, hey, oh God, and then if truth supports that seed, forget it, because you can't hide the truth. People have been hiding the truth for generations, trying to lock away truth tellers or frickin', take their land or frickin' burn them at the stake, like whatever, There's always the controllers, the ones that want to dominate. That's not everybody likes it like that. People don't like that rough stuff. Not all of them. But you got these weird fucking weirdos that have created society and based on fucking movies and TV. But what they didn't account for is the psychology. Well, yeah, they did. I'm sure they did. So what we're creating a society like The Walking Dead by taking away people's basic needs. Like, give people lack of access and purpose and means to keep themselves, treat people like trash and see how trash treats ya. Oh, Margie, I'm always thinking of you, Margie. I just discovered this song, and it's been done like 140 times. One song remade by so many. That's my name. You are my inspiration, Margie. I always hated my name. So girly. Then it was Marge. And then Pee Wee Herman fucking ruined that. So here we are. Margie. Mom always calls me Margie. Love you, Mom. Thank you, Margie. So, but I was named after 2 other people. So does that count for 1 life or 3? But I always kind of looked at like that. Like everybody, like I'm just a, here, oh, this is a good way to experience. Like God, right? We're just like aspects of God. Like, so this is one Margie. I could be this is every Margie on planet Earth, okay? Like every version of the song Margie on planet Earth, right? Now I have the free will that I can act like whatever I want. Now, the other Margies in my life, they're very subservient. Women to men. My mom's adoptive mother was Margaret, who I was named after, and she was the subservient to her man. He was also military. So I didn't want to be like that. I saw it, and I know I could be like that, but I didn't want to be like that. So I would do all the behaviors that would not enforce that of me being like that. As a little girl, I'd cry myself to sleep because I didn't want to grow up and marry a man. The thought of that made me cry to sleep at fucking night. No, I want no hairy butts. They deem themselves very unattractive to me. So, all the Margies. And then the other Margaret was my grandma's sister, Nanya, is what they called her, but she was a Margaret. Again, like I didn't want to make the same choice. I didn't want to be like her. That's why, I don't think it's a healthy thing to name babies after, because it plants a seed of expectation. Like, especially if you think they're really wonderful human beings. because not everybody's a really wonderful human being. Everybody has their shadow aspects. Just how much of them are protected? Where do you want to go, honey? You good girl? Want to go outside? I was so busy focusing on freaking Tucker and Artie and Benny, I didn't notice that Luna's getting old. So, huh? Good girl? Loving you. You're the best? She's adorable. She's so cute. Look at her. Good girl. So, I don't know. I think we're going to stay in today. I really don't. It doesn't feel good outside. Because people don't feel good. And there's a lot of people that come here to feel good. And they come so far. From so far and vast and wide. To come here from where they live. Where they feel bad. And then they come here to feel better. But they're trying to act better than they feel. So it's basically a lie. But they don't, because they don't want to do the work what it really takes to feel better. Because it takes a lot of work to feel better. And you got to do the things that make you feel better, even on the days that you don't. It's called discipline. People don't do that. They do what they want to do when they want to do it. You do that enough? I've seen it too many times in my life. Whatever you build for just yourself, has a way of being washed away. I'm seeing a lot of evidence of that. Like weird freak floods in weird places. Like, what the fuck did they ever do to anybody else? Nothing, but you want me to feel bad about you because millions of dollars of fucking crystals and gems washed down the way? That's okay. You have insurance, right? Because a lot of the people, your customers, or could be customers, they can't even get clean water or wash their ass on the street. But as long as you're having a good... See, all that shit don't fly. It don't fly. It's not even me. But this is just... I just put in a crass way all the shit that the Bible talks about. Do unto others. And it's only going to get worse because everybody keeps saying... More and more people are going to say how much worse it's getting. Because people aren't changing their behavior. It's really quite unfortunate. It's hard to watch. It really is. Living on planet Earth is very, very hard to watch. And I've seen it. Like, I had this dude do a reading on me years ago. Reading for a Heyoka peace dealer. He's a Gemini. Either you go for the ego or spirit. Or you got to find a balance. Which is... you go to spirit, you gotta find a balance for both, because you're never gonna get rid of one. Now I checked in on Homeboy the other day, and he did a great reading for me. He's like, wow, you're a really remarkable person. Evidently he's not, because he couldn't recognize how special I am. So he went, and now I look at his stuff, and all his shit's on lock. It's most of his stuff content is membership only. Inclusion with paid membership required. And I'm like, well, that's why he never, I even, not too long ago, sent him an email. Hey, dude, I really appreciate still after all this time that reading that you did for me. If you give me a P.O. box, place an address, I'd love to send you one of my t-shirts. I don't have a P.O. box. If I ever get one, I'll let you know. Oh, okay. You're just too cool for me, Michael Peace Dealer. I've moved around taking care of my mom and family in different states while he's sat in the same apartment in Las Vegas, walking the same streets, saying the same words, only now it's inclusion with paid membership required. Money's not even real. How many people on Vegas could have used the freaking, some generosity from you? But people are too important to get it. They're too important to give it. When people are so important, they can't be bothered with the most bottom tier. then there's no work that we could collaborate with, because you are all for yourself and I am for fucking the soulful. I am for the soulful. And you can tell who has a soul and you can tell who doesn't have a soul. I guess that is a determining factor for everyone to like that. You got life is about learning your discernment. That's all it is about trusting, lining your own mind, body, and spirit up as a truth detector to determine what's for you and what's not. And freaking most shit on social media is just bullshit, junk in, junk in. See, because you junk in, you're going to put junk out. Junk in, junk out, junk in, junk out. So, I don't know what the day holds for us today, the future holds for us today. But we're going to try to be a reflection of lovely things and less of a reflection of fucking ugly shit that New Mexico is so full of. Mom and I drove down to Santa Fe the other day. I get why they call New Mexico the land of enchantment. If you look up enchantment, it just means it's a spell. Like, everyone who lives here is under some weird spell to make... I mean, it's a beautiful place. I'm not taking that away. But that's the land. That's the land. That's not... And a place is only as beautiful as the people that make it up. And that's where it gets real ugly real fast, because stuff will run riot. People get mad, they feel like they're freaking justified in freaking causing harm to the thing that makes them mad. And that's some, like... That's some junior high Hogwarts Heathrow shit stain on the fabric of society mentality. You don't get to shoot and kill people because they annoy you. In case you second amenders, you didn't get the fucking memo. You can have your little gun, but if you shoot and kill people that don't have a gun, you can't say, they were a threat to me. They don't got no weapon. They're not a threat to you. You got annoyed and you're trying to cover up your own tracks. So what kind of karma for all the people on the mirror ball that live themselves like that? See, because you got all the Marges, but then you got all the fucking Go Big Red Nebraska fan. Like, they make up one mirror ball. Like, could you imagine the good that they could reflect in the world if they didn't spend so much time every week sitting in a stadium sucking life force energy? They call it the good life. It's also a spell. Because none of those fucking people did, like, nothing to help me when I was almost homeless with my mother. Not one of them. Not one of those people that said they were my friend. Not one of those freaking 50, 60 people I helped move. How, like, they're just all puppets that they regurgitate words. I don't even know if they're real people. They're all a bunch of fucking Freemasons too, you know. The advantage never came to me, so I have no problem talking all the trash in the world about those stupid clubs. Whatever this itty stupid club is, I don't care what the stupid club is. Like on, what is that? Groucho Marx said it, and then they put it on a line in Northern Exposure that Harlan said, I wouldn't want to be a part of any club that would have me. And then he took the words as his own, because he's a creepy pedo dude, you know. But that's how they make it okay. That's how they make it okay. Put it on TV on Northern Exposure. A dude in his 60s with an 18-year-old girl. Have them fall in love, have babies. She can fix all this broken stuff within him, you know. And then look how it unfolds on society. And it's not just young girls and old dudes, it's young dudes and old girls too. It's just it's getting people that is just such a huge unjustifiable imbalance when I see that. Anytime I see it. And that dude that I freaking unfriended from the fucking Aussie post, like he's no different. Like, you know, you're fucking 50 and you're just now having a baby with a chick that's in her 22s. Like, And you don't make good life choices, so she's gonna end up a single parent one day, but it was a good time, right? Like, you think that any of that thinking does anything for that kid? No, that doesn't. See, mom, I was raised. I was taught. She explained things to me. I wasn't just programmed and told what to do. That was from my dad's side, but mom was the most perfect mom for me. And that's why I will, till my last breath, put in every energy that I have to make her comfortable, because of the she did a very good job under extreme circumstances to make sure that I learned things like you got to keep your hands to yourself. You can't, doesn't matter how much you get mad, because these are things that she learned. Like, you can't, it is against the law. I was told by an SP on Offutt Air Force Base, especially if you've been drinking, you can't even go, now, calm down. That is assault. Yeah. Calm down. You can't do that. You can't touch another person. That's the law. So anything else aside, but the system is designed and created to provoke people that can't control themselves. Understand that. So they create environments where people can't control themselves, and then they put them in institutions where they pay themselves big pensions, 6 figures, all this. Like my brother, assistant chief counsel for the Office of Parole for the entire state of California, where they allocate $207,000 a year to say, that's how much we need to house them, feed them, clothe them, give them, and if you ask the people in prison, they don't get all of those benefits, yet the funds are allocated for. Again, back to the population numbers. That's why they say there's 8 billion people on the planet, because then they tell them, they overestimate by billions, and then they tell them, the people as governments, that we are going to take all of this money because that's what we need to take care of you. Fuck you. Give the money to the people to take care of themselves, you stupid lizard brain Nepo bitches. So that's what's happening. It's shift of power. It's just the world's largest shift maybe in history, because it's happening in a time that history hasn't covered up. I'm not saying that these things haven't happened in recorded history. Oh no. I'm sure that there is plenty of recorded history out there that we aren't privy to. So, in the spirit that the truth always comes out, we're going to get privy whether we want it or not. Because you can't hide the truth. People say the highest frequency is love. How many people on planet Earth never felt love, like authentic, like what you think it's supposed to be? Like, how many people have never felt that? So to me, that's a lie. Love is a lie. Mostly, it's been my experience of my incarnation that I have been caused more harm to by people that were supposed to love me and take care of me than any fucking stranger. So based on that, I don't have the same, that's another, again, how I don't live on the same planet as everyone else, because to me the highest frequency is authenticity, not being a fake ass bitch, you know, not trying to believe that you're younger than you are, or older than you are, or that you're something at all different than what you are. So rectify with what you are before you go out and present a story of who you are. Because a lie's a lie, and the truth always comes out, even when they figure out who and what people are. That's why every stupid thing I've ever done in my whole life, I put it on my YouTube channel. I'm at 100% accountability. Yeah. You know why I do that? Because I don't believe in secrets. Because secrets are shit that other people don't want me to tell about them. they can say whatever they want about me. Because if I really was okay with that behavior, or if I really wasn't, or if I held any sort of embarrassment or shame to any behavior that I hold to any story that anybody can tell, I'd be glad to let them know that I don't act like that person anymore. So that person that they don't like, I'm not that person, because that's what dictates who a person is by their behavior. So I don't do the same shit that I used to do because I don't like who that person was. I'm trying to be a better version of myself. And, I mean, if you think about it, planet Earth should be full of like really fit, good looking, attractive, naturally people. I was driving around, I said, Ma, I said, there are not a whole lot of really attractive people. And we've been driving around a lot. Parts in between. Because like attracts like. You smile at people, you got a pretty smile, they'll smile back. No, that don't happen in New Mexico. Not a lot. I'm not mediocre, so I don't attract mediocre. Yeah, so, I mean, based on, like, the principles and all these, Christianity and all these religions that say just be a better version of like, based on what? Your Denver Bronco season passes that your family has had for 25 years? Like, how many people you pass on the road broke down between Taos and fucking Denver? You could have stopped and helped, but you never did. See, it's all that stuff. You add up all that stuff. We got the great nothing, just like in, we're getting the great nothing, just like in Never Ending Stories. So. Anyway, you about ready to get up, Ma? You getting hungry?
Yeah.
Yeah? Want some beef stew? No, you want some eggs? No, you want some oatmeal? Eggs? Oatmeal?
You can have some.
I'm gonna make some beef stew. Yeah, I got a 4.44 ounce, 4 pound, 44 ounce, wait, 4.44 pounds of real, I'm more positive. I gotta eat protein. I gotta get my protein. Chicken, beef. I don't do a lot of pork. I did buy some sausage. I haven't cooked it up yet, but it has hatch green chilies in it. The last sausage I got, it was like churro. Was like, what is those cinnamon? What are those? And it was gross. I threw the rest of the. I threw it away. It was nasty. I didn't like the flavor. So anyway, I've been trying to protein because I went days and days and days without eating proper. So I'm trying to fix that because I can't eat when I'm under stress. I can't. It just doesn't do any good. So, like I said, we are just human computers. We're just computers, And just keep in mind that there's little electronic components called the capacitor. And that's what we're seeing on the collective stage right now. A capacitor is the part that if there's a spike in the electricity, that the capacitor is what takes it for the team of the rest of the freaking motherboard. So if there's an electric spike, the capacitor will actually burst. You can see the top. It's like kind of cut in an X, and you can see how they pop up. Some of them like blow up all the way, but they'll actually burst to open the circuit. I hope you have a rad day too. Peace. So that the electricity doesn't affect the rest of the board. And so when you see people out there freaking out, just know that there were warning signs. And just know that there were people and agencies that could have helped them. Those people just didn't feel like it. So the cracks of society are at a point in which they've never been. People are uncomfortable. They're mad. They're basically animals backed in a corner. So It's gonna be interesting last little bit of September and October, that's for sure. That's all I got for now. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you have a right day. Peace.